All right, guys. If you're watching this video and notice that there's a difference between me wearing a hat, me not wearing a hat, you probably saw my old video. The volume completely shot on that one. So this is a brand new video of me re-explaining the same thing. So hopefully this is gonna record and go through smoothly on YouTube. So today's lesson is on finding volume of a pyramid and a cone. So volume of a pyramid, it's pretty simple. It's this formula that's right over here, but I don't like that 1/3. I think it's a little bit clunky. I think it's not necessary. I think the easier version for me when I'm doing for volume of a pyramid is I'm gonna go volume is equal to the area of the base times the height divided by 3. Same thing, but just looks a lot easier. And I'll show you number one what I mean. So for number one, we need to go ahead and first find capital B. What's capital B? Capital B is basically the bottom of the pyramid, the flat surface of the pyramid. And if you notice right over here, it is a rectangle because the two sides, they form right angles, but they're not congruent to each other. And since it's a rectangle, right, that's basically length times width. So you just go 10 times 11, and that should get you 110. All right, so now we got to go ahead and plug everything back in. So since we said the volume is equal to the area of the base times the height divided by 3, so that becomes 110. The height is always going straight up and down. And I brought up in the past, like, okay, when you go to the doctors and they take your height during like a physical, they always measure you going up straight up. They never measure you going slanted. So in that case, you would go ahead, the height going straight up and down would be 16 divided by 3. And if you do that in your calculator, you should get approximately 586.67 cubic inches. All right, so that's the first example. Now, they're going to troll you, right? And you're going to be using the same formula. They're going to troll you sometimes because they don't give you the straight height. They'll give you something like the slant height. Let's look at number 3, right? So number 3, we need to go ahead and do the same thing. We need to go ahead and find the area of the base. And if you look at the area of the base, that is a square. So if that's a square, that's going to be length times width. And then, so that's going to be 14 times 14, which is going to be equal to 196. And then same thing, volume is equal to the area of the base times the height divided by 3. So the area of the base is going to be 196. The height is what we're missing. The height is going straight up and down to the center of it. Not the best drawing in the world, but I'm trying right there, right? So what you need to imagine right now is, well, I have my slant height right over here. And that if I were to connect a triangle over here, jetting it out over here, it's going to look like this. That's a right angle. The slant is 25. The distance from the center to here, well, I know the side of the square is going to go ahead and be 14. Half of 14 is going to be 7. So 7's right here. So we need to use the Pythagorean theorem. So that's going to go ahead and be 7 squared. We don't know the height. Let's call it h. So that'll be plus h squared is equal to 25 squared. Now, going ahead and doing this, I'm going to jump steps. 7 squared is 49. 25 squared is 625. So you subtract 49 on both sides. That'll be h squared is equal to 576. You square root both sides. H is going to be equal to 24. So my height's 24. And then I'm going to go ahead and divide it by 3. And when you go ahead and put this into calculator, it's a smooth answer. It's going to be 1,568 cubic feet. Cool. So that is definitely a problem I would put on a quiz, right? No quiz this week, which is good news. No quizzes this week at all because you have English on Friday due to Monday being Memorial Day, and we got to give them back their day, which is totally understandable. Looking at problems 4, 5, and 6, right? It's the same process. You're still going to be using volume is equal to the area of the base times height divided by 3. But this time your base is a triangle. So you got to remember that it's 1/2 base and height, the two sides that form the right angle. So, you know, for example, if you look at problem number 4, right? The two sides that form the right angle would be 12 and 7.5. So they would be entered into the area right there, into finding the area. And then the height of the actual three-dimensional figure is 10. So that would go into the volume formula. All right, so make sure that you guys are making note of that. I'll post up the answers later on today. I do want to do one problem from the cone section, but the cones are a little bit easier, right? So they give you the formula right over here, but same thing. I prefer to use pi r squared height divided by 3. And with that being said, right, let's do that in. Put that in. So that's going to be pi r squared height divided by 3. Well, r is my radius, which I know is from the center to the side of the circle, which is 9. So that's going to be pi 9 squared. How tall is it? Well, that's going to be 17 because it's going straight up, down. That'd be 17. And divided by 3. And again, multiply everything in the numerator, press enter into the calculator, then divide it by 3. You should get an answer of 1,441.99 cubic yards. All right, cool. So there you go. It's a simple lesson. We're going to be, after today, there won't be any new lessons. There'll be just review for the rest of the week. I hope you guys had a good Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. Take care.